just a lot of history. Seafood town, you know, industrial town.
It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody.
Hospitality we are. That's what Mississippi is.
Pascagoula, Mississippi. A small, laid-back town home to America's largest military shipbuilding company, Gulf beaches, and lots of seafood.
God, family, and fishing. That's what it is.
But this southern town was thrown into the national spotlight in the 1970s for a completely different reason.
My name's Calvin Parker. I'm 64 years old. I was abducted by something. I don't know what it was or where it was from.
Back in 1973, Parker had just moved to town to work with Charles Hickson.
Very first day at work, October 11th of 1973. We worked all day, got off work, and he asked me, he said, "Do you want to go fishing?" Well, you know, that wasn't a decision for me. Yeah, sure, I wanted to go.
They went fishing on steel docks off the Pascagoula River, past a no trespassing sign, when he says the extraterrestrial happened.
And it was so bright it was blinding, and these lights was coming from inside a crowd. And then before we knew it, we both stood up and was already turned around and looking. It was three, I can't say where they was from or what they were, but it was like a robotic creature because they moved mechanically. And they got to us. Two of them got a hold of Charlie, one got a hold of myself. The very minute that they grabbed me, I felt an injection in my arm.
Parker describes to us in detail what happened on the river that night.
They lifted us and took us aboard. This female-looking creature, she came out. Now, she had regular facial features, ears and eyes, nose. The only difference I seen in her than what we would, and if you think about it and look at your hands, these two fingers right here are longer, and they was just a little bit longer than ours on her. And she took this right hand and she run it up down the back of my throat. Well, I started choking.
He said the beings who took him made it known they did not mean any harm.
That's when they picked me up and they carried me out, sent me back down by the river, and it gets to be a long story after that.
A story that dominated the front page of the Mississippi Press for over a week. While the Arab-Israeli War and Nixon's presidency were making national headlines, UFOs were the talk of the state. NASA got involved. Police lines were busy 24 hours a day.
Dr. John Allen Hynek come for an interview. He was down here the next morning, and he was over Project Blue Book for the Air Force. They spent their own money to come down here to investigate this and to talk to people and interview witnesses and things.
Hickson and Parker gave matching statements to police, passed polygraphs and lie detector tests. But one reporter wrote security cameras in the area showed nothing that night. Others questioned the legitimacy of the polygraphs. The spotlight was too much for Parker.
This happened in 1973, and I never, ever had told none of my family what happened.
He lived on the run, basically, from society itself because, of course, people thought he was crazy. We're trying to get air conditioners fixed around here. My name is Rebecca Davis. I'm the executive director for Main Street Pascagoula.
Over the past year, Davis helped connect Parker and his story to present-day Pascagoula.
In 1973 was a different age, a different time, and it was taboo. You didn't talk about stuff like that. People, I think, today are more open-minded.
Book signings, events, all with the support of the city and its mayor.
A lot of people that are interested in it that today that weren't alive then and had not completely heard the story. People need to know about it.
Today, people are more open about their experiences.
After the incident happened, we went down there, me and my dad and mom went down to the place where it happened at. It's like a big old spaceship had landed, and it was just incredible. It was just freaked me out, you know. The young I was, it freaked me out, you know, and I couldn't believe it.
Is this your place?
It is my place.
It is your place?
I'm the third generation in here. My dad had an unloading dock between the bridges where the aliens came. Well, he was on one side, they were on the other side.
Did he see the aliens?
No, he did not see the aliens.
Honestly,
But some of those guys on the shrimp boat might have if they'd have been smoking the same stuff.
After decades of hiding, Parker no longer lets his experience impact his life.
If you kind of look to your left, that's about where the pier was. It's really hard to tell where anything is by now.
do you ever come out here anymore, or is this?
Oh yeah, I fish here all the time.
That's awesome.
And that's the reason I come. I don't come to look at the side or to dwell on anything, because this is something you can't really dwell on. It would bother you a lot. I remember a time that I didn't want to come back here. I could care less.
The dock where it all happened is unrecognizable,
It was the evening of October 11th, 1973.
but a new reminder was put in place this year, a permanent marker of a defining moment in Parker's life.
How does this make you feel when you see this here?
Well, I have mixed emotions. It makes me feel good that the city is kind of honoring what happened, or, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. Not honoring what happened, but admitting what happened and making it part of their history.
We're always going to be supportive of Calvin. People love him. He's a lovable guy.
He is salt of the earth, just plain Jane man, okay? Country is cornbread.
Do you wish you would have told your story sooner?
No, I think I picked the right time to tell it, and I'll tell you why. If I had talked about this any sooner than what I did, the news would be wore off. Well, in this day and time that we're in, we have social media, everybody carries a camera around, and now I'm keeping the attention on it, and the people are a lot more conscious of what's going on.
Parker is simply searching for answers.
I'm just hunting answers for myself. Now, whether we'll ever find them or not, I don't know, but I'll go on my deathbed hunting them.
With photojournalist, I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.